gone without a trace.
We had no credible sighting, just possible sightings.
A Sweet 16 Georgia girl has vanished into the dark night, along with her stepfather.
I've been calling and texting and leaving messages and nothing.
A mother's desperate plea for help.
They're not answering.
At all.
An intense police investigation soon digs deep into the murky mystery.
Police officers, investigators, they were searching in this kind of like swampy area.
Will they recover Janell and Leon?
It may be more to this than just a simple missing person.
Now, a stunning development that will finally answer the desperate family's most important question. Where is Janell Carwell?
We've been praying that we wouldn't go into a year not knowing where Janell is.
The day had been so joyful for LaTanya Janell Carwell, simply known as Janell.
Janell was a loving, very intelligent, smart young woman who wanted to be a doctor, who was an honor student.
Janell was turning 16.
That was the morning of her 16th birthday.
It's Easter Sunday. She celebrates the holiday and her birthday with family and friends. Neighbors say the young teen seems happy.
She had not reporting any problems to anyone. The neighbors saw nothing. They were having a cookout. She was inviting friends over. So it was nothing for us to suspect that there was something going on.
But shortly after midnight, something does go on. And a birthday celebration is about to take a strange and tragic turn.
How can I help you?
Janell's mother, Tanya Tripp, calls 911.
Yes, ma'am. I was calling to report a missing person.
Give me 1 second.
I pray to God that they not, but it's not like them not to answer the phone.
Tanya says it's not just her daughter who's vanished.
Your husband and your daughter are missing?
Right.
Tanya tells police her husband, Leon Tripp, Janell's stepfather, is not answering her now frantic calls. Neither is Janell.
I've been calling and texting.
They're not answering?
Neither one. And that's not like neither one of them, because they see me calling, they gonna answer.
As Tanya reveals more, cops soon discover the teen and her stepdad have been missing for nearly 24 hours. Tanya soon tells the dispatcher the pair had left the house together in the midnight hours the day before.
Her husband had received a call from a friend who had broken down, and they were going to render him assistance.
Tanya says Leon hopped in his truck, heading a half-hour's drive away from Augusta to Clarks Hill, South Carolina, to help his stranded friend. She says he took her phone with him.
His cell phone don't have a map on it where you get direction or whatever, so he got my cell phone.
At first, Tanya says she didn't even realize Leon took Janell with him. Then she tells police her tech-savvy daughter went along to help work the GPS on a smartphone. Now both have disappeared.
What stepdad wanted his daughter to go with him to help another guy at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Despite what some questioned as bizarre circumstances, at the moment, loved ones focused on one thing: finding Janell and Leon. 2 weeks later, the high school student and her stepdad are still missing.
What's important is that she come home.
Pastor Harden soon takes to social media pleading for clues, going live on Facebook with Janell's mom, Tanya.
I do have cancer. I have brain cancer and I have lung cancer.
Tanya tells viewers that sickness prevented her from riding along with Leon the night he went missing with Janell.
I was inhaling too much of the smoke, so my husband told me to go in the house and lay down. So I did, because I couldn't breathe. And 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, I'm calling, texting, nothing. I need my baby home, like 15 days ago type home, because she has never been away from me this long.
The plea is an effort to raise money for a reward offered to anyone who knows something. The well wishes and donations begin to pour in.
Thank y'all for all the love. I see it, all the likes. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
That is.
Isn't that beautiful?
Thank you.
Police are doing their own searching for clues, and they soon catch their first break. They spot the white pickup truck in which Leon and Janell were driving, abandoned along the road, just a mile from their home.
We processed the truck to make sure if it was any trace evidence, any physical evidence, DNA or anything of that nature, to show signs of a struggle or something had happened, and we found none.
If the truck turns up in the neighborhood, is there a chance Janell and Leon will too? Cops step up their search, hoping cell phones will provide some footprints and answers.
Based on those tower readings, none of it suggested that they were in the Clark Hill area as he originally had stated.
Janell and Leon never make it to that area where Leon says his buddy is stranded. And that's not the only troubling find.
Prior to her missing, we were able to track phone records and her social media activities. So she was very active, and all that had ceased.
And then a number of new tips coming into police take the case in an even more bizarre direction. People say they've actually seen Leon more than 100 miles away in Atlanta without Janell.
He had briefly stayed with certain friends in Atlanta.
Where is LaTanya Janell Carwell? No one's seen the Augusta, Georgia teen or her stepdad Leon since they left home together late one April night on her 16th birthday. Her frantic mother telling police they hadn't answered her repeated calls for 24 hours.
I pray to God that they not, but it's not like them not to answer the phone.
But weeks later, the truck Leon was driving has been found abandoned. And mysteriously, only one person is about to turn up alive and well, Leon Tripp.
The stepfather was spotted in a location without the presence of the daughter. He had a relationship with individuals in Atlanta. He had friends. He actually made 2 or 3 trips back and forth while we were actively looking for him and the daughter.
Detectives set out to track Leon down. But first, they dig into his background to find out just who they're dealing with.
Leon Tripp was in prison. He had some assault charges. He had some cruelty to children charges.
Cops soon discover that when Leon met Tanya, he was behind bars doing time for aggravated assault. He and Tanya correspond with one another and strike up a relationship. They even get married while Leon's in prison and make future plans.
He actually was released and moved directly into the family home.
The family home with Tanya, Janell, and Janell's little sister.
Tanya Tripp should have protected Janell from the very beginning, 2 years ago when she met him.
But now Janell is gone. After several Leon sightings and a whole lot of unanswered questions about Janell's whereabouts, Leon is wanted again. Officers get a warrant for his arrest on kidnapping charges. But as they search, Leon's wife Tanya seems torn.
She did show concern for her daughter. But when I asked her, hey, investigators believe that he's taken her, she was very defensive.
TV reporter Kelly Wiley covered the story extensively for WRDW News 12 and WAGT 26 and interviewed Janell's mother.
The community really felt for Tanya Tripp. They saw a grieving mother who wanted to know where her child was.
Investigators say they also began noticing Tanya's strange behavior.
She even went on the media speaking out against the sheriff's office, saying that we were wrong and we were falsely accusing her husband.
Undaunted, the U.S. Marshals go searching for Leon in Atlanta and reportedly discover he's at a U-Haul facility. When officers corner him there, he's not alone. Right by his side, Janell's mom, Tanya Tripp.
We were extremely shocked when we found her and him actually together. And that's when we really got that sick feeling that, you know, this case is really not heading in a good direction.
Tanya had an explanation. She tells cops it was by sheer accident that she and Leon were discovered together.
Tanya Tripp was pretty much sticking with her story, and that when she was traveling to Atlanta, she had just seen him walking along the road. And it was just a big coincidence that they had found each other.
Authorities slap Leon with kidnapping charges. And not buying Tanya's story, investigators charge her with hindering the apprehension of a criminal. Those who know the family well are stunned. Neighbor Ernestine Howard says Tanya called her from jail to tell her the news.
I asked her, what in the world? I said, Tanya, please tell me that's not true. Are you serious? And she said yes.
But just how involved is Tanya Tripp in her own daughter's disappearance?
That's the $64,000 question. The mother gave several interview accounts, but each story was inconsistent, but they would tell a little bit more about their dealings. They were trying to paint another picture.
One of those stories referenced the 911 call. Leon leaving in the middle of the night to Clarksville, South Carolina to help a stranded friend, and taking Janell with him to work the GPS.
I told him, I said, well, when you on your way back, honey, please call me and let me know that y'all okay. And he said, all right.
But as police press Leon, his version slips into something completely different. Leon tells police he and his stepdaughter actually were headed to Atlanta.
He gave her some money in which to get on the bus and come back to Augusta, and he hadn't seen her since.
When investigators grilled Tanya about Leon's version, the normally talkative mother suddenly gets tongue-tied.
Come to find out that she only had that initial story. She never prepared for the follow-ups.
Cops soon look back to the original 911 call, which may hold hidden clues to Janell's mysterious disappearance.
It wasn't an alarming call until you go back and put all the pieces together.
That first piece of the puzzle begins with Tanya's seemingly frantic 911 call the night after her daughter goes missing.
I've been calling and texting and leaving messages and nothing
You're not answering?
at all. Neither one.
But police say Tanya's emergency call is one big, well-rehearsed lie.
Okay, ma'am, as I'm talking to you, we have a deputy en route to you.
Okay.
We truly believe that the mother knew that we would never find the child where she said we were to look for her.
And Detective Roundtree claims Tanya was hiding another dirty secret. Remember, she claimed to be battling cancer.
I have brain cancer and I have lung cancer.
He says that's not true either.
The mother was complicit in this criminal act.
Cops say cell phone records show Leon and Janell were never in the area Tanya claimed they drove to. They now believe Tanya made it all up to buy time. When Leon was arrested, investigator Roundtree claims he was interviewed.
It led us to believe that we were now working a homicide investigation.
According to prosecutors, since that interview, Leon provided a statement to them saying Janell is no longer alive.
We no longer consider this a missing persons investigation, but we are now conducting an active homicide investigation.
Sadly, just days ago, the sheriff's words would prove to be tragically prophetic.
We received a phone call from a citizen and had discovered what they believed to be human remains.
The tireless year-long search for the sweet 16-year-old came to a heartbreaking end after a homeowner in Augusta found a bone sticking up from a shallow grave in the backyard of a vacant house. Investigators confirmed they were the remains of 16-year-old Janell Carwell.
Janell did not deserve this. She did not.
The coroner was quickly able to get a positive ID from dental records because Janell had gone to the dentist just days before she disappeared.
The information we have, some we're holding, absolutely the Sheriff's Department has to, the DA. We have to do this because we don't want to mess up any justice that Janell deserves.
Now that Janell's body has been discovered, both her mother Tanya and stepfather Leon Tripp have been charged with murder. Leon Tripp is also now facing several other charges, including kidnapping with bodily injury and cruelty to children in the first degree. Tripp and Janell's mother Tanya are both charged with concealing Janell's death.